Okay, we do have an Ask Me Anything that you threw up randomly today on your Instagram. So let's talk about some of these questions that you've been kind of answering all day on Instagram.
Let's go. Let's jump right in. God, family, church. How do you do it all? How do you juggle all of that?
For us to separate the priority of God, family, work, church would be like trying to separate water from dirt when it's mud. It's like it's all connected. Okay, I need to get you a question. What was your first exposure to cuss words?
We're going to be unhinged, babe. Let's just go for all the questions.
What's going on, guys? Ginger and Jeremy here, and we're back for another episode.
Yep, we're back.
And this is wild. I'm surprised we're recording an episode because it is almost 9 o'clock at night when we're recording this, and Ginger is shut down by this time usually.
Usually I'm in bed.
But you're like insisting, no,
8:30.
let's record an episode. And I'm like, babe, you're not going to have energy. But you're feeling
I feel great. I feel really great. And I was like, why not? Let's just do an Ask Me Anything.
That's cool. So Ginger's up for it. Now, I might be the one dragging because I wasn't emotionally prepared for a recording episode. But you know what?
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, I will say this. So this studio we built in our house has been a game changer for this podcast because it means we can record at any time.
Oh yeah, our kids are in bed. And I was like, why don't we just do this? We haven't asked me anything on my Instagram right now. And I said, we should just hop on the podcast and answer.
And it's cool
questions.
because we've got the camera set up. We don't need a producer to come in and do all this and that. So we can just click play. And it's made podcasting a lot easier to have this space in here.
Sure has.
If you haven't watched our vlog on us building this studio, you should go watch it. If you're a audio only person, we do have a YouTube page where we have a lot of vlogs, and we don't post vlogs all the time, but we post the podcast every week.
Yeah, we'll give little updates too on the vlog because it's fun.
So you can go check those out. But okay, we do have an Ask Me Anything that you threw up randomly today on your Instagram. So let's talk about some of these questions that you've been kind of answering all day on Instagram.
Let's go. Let's jump right in. Man, okay, here we go. So Jared, this is a question for you.
Okay.
This is a really good one. So God, family, church. So how do you do it all? How do you juggle all of that? God, family, church, the order of that, your work. How do you juggle that with family?
God, family, church. You know, it's interesting. People put those in like categories. And I've never really understood like rating things in your life because they're all of equal importance. It's like rating like, okay, Ginge, rate air, food, water. Mm-hmm. And you go, well, they're all essential ingredients, right? So God is our life. He's the glue of our life. He's the center of our life. He's the purpose of our life. When we meet Jesus, we recognize, wow, he's worthy to be served and enjoyed and in relationship with. So everything in our life revolves around and is in grateful response to God, which includes family and church and work. And so it all just kind of blends together. It's like a community, like church is our community.
And I have a question though, because I feel like this was something even in People Pleaser that I talked about, but I feel like there's this tension, this struggle whenever people go where they're like, I will only do everything with my family. I will only prioritize my church. And like you're saying, the perfect mix of that. And have you seen like an imbalance at times where someone will go and they're like, okay, I'm going to only serve my church. And they're like over-serving.
Yeah, I think it might come from somebody trying to categorize and then like do percentages of like, church is second in my life and I need to give this amount of time to it. If you look at what the church is and when the gospel began and was spread, when Jesus ascended to heaven and the Holy Spirit fell on Pentecost, you can read about this in Acts chapter 1, Acts chapter 2, you see an explosion of the church. And at the end of the second chapter of Acts, you see what church life is. They had everything in common. They were eating together, they were living together, they were in community together, and they were enjoying like fellowship. They'd worship together, they'd work together, they'd do all that. So a community encompasses your life. And so for us to separate the priority of God, family, work, church would be like trying to separate mud from, or I'm sorry, separating water from dirt when it's mud. It's like it's all connected. And so obviously I think there are certain things in your life, like certain aspects of your life that you say, I'm going to give high priority to that, which means, I'm going to give priority to my daughters, like being with them, putting them to bed, spending time with them in the morning, like that kind of thing, rather than running around and trying to serve people's needs who might want your attention all the time. But that's not distinguishing and saying, okay, this is first, that's second. My priority is to serve the Lord and in all the capacity he's given us. So we enjoy one another. We live in community with the church. I don't know. I think it all just kind of works out. Like it all just kind of happens. And you and I have talked about this a lot. Our community here has become so important to us.
Yeah.
Where it's like we couldn't imagine leaving that because they're family.
Yeah. And that's another question somebody asks, like, will you ever leave California? And I think initially when I read that, I'm like, no way, never. But ultimately, like, we don't know what God has in store because we didn't think we were going to leave Texas either. But this feels like just being in this season of life has been such a gift and a blessing because we have our church community. We have friends around us that have been so faithful through the ups and downs of life, and they've become family. And so it would be super tough to ever leave LA and the sunshine that's here. So let's just talk about that for a minute. It's like in the 80s, and you're outside. Whenever it rained for like those couple weeks, it was insane. Like I felt like people get slightly depressed here after 3 days of rain.
Yep.
So we are so blessed and spoiled with the beautiful weather. So I think that's part of it too.
Yeah, it's funny. We've seen people leave LA, leave the church, leave the community, leave their friends, their work, whatever, because the grass is greener on the other side in like Tennessee or something where they say, okay, if we move to Florida, things will be cheaper and gas is cheaper. And that could be true. And people make good decisions all the time, relocating their families. I'm not saying, but we have seen some families who are like, man, I wish I didn't get out.
Yeah.
And they want to come back. And then it can be tougher to come back because then you're shipping everything back again. You're packing everything up,
It's a whole thing.
Yeah. So we love LA. And, there is always this, people are always talking about California like it's some dreadful place. And you go, okay, well, there might be some policies we don't agree with, or some of the, the fires can threaten things and are very serious. But anywhere you go, you're going to see either people you don't disagree with, political things you don't agree with. You're going to have downsides geographically.
Yeah.
There's going to be hurricanes, tornadoes. It's going to be too hot, too cold, too windy, too flat, too hilly,
That is so true.
And so it really is, I saw this thing the other day, I think it was on Instagram, talking about happiness. And it was making the point that everyone wishes they had the next level. So like the millionaire wishes he was the billionaire. And the millionaire who's flying first class looks at the billionaire who owns his own jet. And it's like, oh man, if only I could have my own jet. And then, the person working like a mid-level job is going, man, I wish I could just afford to have first class and not worry about my finances. And then, but they've got like a nice car. But then the person who they drive past who's on a bike is like, man, I wish I could only afford a car. And it was making the point, if we're always looking to the next level, we're never going to be happy. And happiness is understanding like we're grateful for what the Lord has given us and his providence in our lives. And so wherever you are, it really is what you make it. It's the people, it's the community. And we love the people here. We love the community.
Yeah. It would be super hard to leave.
So I think we're hanging out for a while.
I like it.
Somebody asked when we moved from our last house, and I think we've talked about this before, but we've had a succession of moves in the last few years, but I think we're pretty settled now.
Yeah. For now, this really seems like more like a forever home for us. And we moved from our old house, I think it was in July, late July or August, early August that we moved out. And so we've been in this house for a good number of months, but it has been a busy season because right after we moved in here in July, we found out that we were expecting. And we already ripped our kitchen out. It literally was so interesting. Like, we'll have to put up some pictures for you guys because it was crazy. I think I'm going to do a couple before and afters on Instagram because, I mean, our kitchen, when you walked into it at this house, there was brick. And on the brick, it was like a thick layer of grease all the way around it, above the stove. You could not clean it. The ovens that were there were these tiny built-in, really old fire hazard ovens. And they were surrounded by brick too. So you couldn't just get like a slide in or anything. It all had to be redone.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break from this episode to talk to you about Dabble and Dollop.
So if you want to put a creatively clean twist on Easter and springtime, then you need Dabble and Dollop in your life.
Instead of the sugar, instead of all the candy, instead of being a disaster for your kids' teeth this Easter, you can put in their Easter baskets Dabble and Dollop goodies that they will enjoy and love. And during this whole like having Finn season, your mom has been here helping with the kids. My mom's been here helping with the kids. And they've loved using the Dabble and Dollop for the kids' bath time.
Yeah, it is the kids' favorite thing. So we were actually out at the sand pits earlier. Yeah. Kids were playing. It was crazy. And I was like, okay, bath time is happening as soon as we get home. So I told Evie, I said, bubble bath. And she jumped out of the sand pit and went running, ready to head to the car, which is huge.
Oh, yeah, she loves it. Okay, so Dabble and Dollop is now at Target. So you can go to dabbleanddollop.com and get all your stuff. But if you want it now, you can head out to Target and get it at your local Target store.
Yeah, Dabble and Dollop has restocked their bath bombs and their shampoos and body washes, which will be 20% off beginning on April 12th. And they're amazing savings just in time for the holiday.
Yeah, so if you want these savings, go to dabbleanddollop.com. Use code GINGER20 for 20% off. That's JINGER 20 for 20% off.
Treat your family to a clean Easter season and treat them to Dabble and Dollop.
And see how much better bath time can be.
So we just decided to tear everything out because I personally, and you as well, like we cannot deal with the nastiness. Like in a kitchen, your kitchen has to be clean and you just couldn't clean it.
Yeah, so, brick in kitchen.
Yeah, above your stove.
Good night. And then
literally
remember,
layers of grease.
So it was like this. It
an arch.
Curved over. And then there was an arch under the stove. Yes. And we were like, the first time we came in, we were like, oh, what's that for? That's interesting. And they said, yeah, that's for the dog. It would lay under there because it would stay heated in the winter. And the dog, I mean, I'm talking, I don't know. I feel like 1981 wasn't too long ago, but the house was built in the 80s and it was just so, I mean, it kind of added character, but then from the practical vantage point, we were like, this has to go immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just not supposed to be in the kitchen.
It's not where we want to make food.
No, I think the whole thing, when we ripped it out, I was like, this is the best decision. Yeah. And a couple friends came over.
It was fun ripping it out.
Demolish it. It was fun. They had demo day. And then we just went through the process of like getting the kitchen put back together. Choosing paint colors took me forever. I really was moving slow on that because I wanted it to be just right.
But Chip and Joe to the rescue.
Thanks to Magnolia, I went with Step Stool Green by Magnolia, or Step Stool, I think it's called, by Magnolia. It is so gorgeous, guys. And then the other one was Mason Blanche by Sherwin-Williams. That's the
honestly,
uppers.
It's kind of the vibe of this room. Like, it's almost the tan upper with the green. That. I mean, it's kind of the...
Maybe that's where I got the inspo.
Probably subconsciously, you did get a little bit of inspo.
It actually makes sense. But once we remodeled the kitchen, it just feels like everything is so fresh, so clean. And then we just looked around the house and it was like all these projects that we want to do. Because it's an older home, it has so much character. We did the studio, and then now the backyard's being done. So there are all of these pieces to the puzzle, but it's kind of fun because you get to make the space your own and really in a unique way because it has the good bones that are there, but it just needs some help to freshen and update.
Yeah, so some of these updates that we're doing on the house, we're going to actually put some of those on the vlog because working on the backyard, And there's a ton of really fun updates to do in this house. It's not a fixer-upper in the sense of like, you can't live in it until certain things are done. But it gives us a lot of like, there's a lot of fun projects to do.
A lot, yeah.
But we can take our time doing them too when we want to or when we're up for it. So that's what's kind of cool about this house. It's like it's a long play because we can gradually update things.
Yeah, like our bathroom.
Oh
my goodness. Night. Our bathroom has it when you walk in. It used to have carpet in the bathroom. Carpet in the bathroom, guys. Just picture that. I didn't see it. Jeremy got to see that
I was
phase.
Privileged to see that.
And then anyhow, so that's been ripped out. There are like decent floors in there for now, but we will eventually remodel our bathroom. It doesn't bother me as much as it bothers you, but there's like a walk-in shower that's small. So you take a step up to that shower and then back down into it. It's very dated.
It's very 80s.
Then get this. There is this big tub, which looks like it's a good sized tub. And you have to take 3 steps up to go into the tub and then get into this jacuzzi. And right next to it is this planter, 4 plants. And it's built in. And there are no plants in there, guys. I mean, I don't know. It's a little gross. So we don't use, the tub, the planter. We just leave that alone.
It's a wild ride. I don't know who was doing like bathroom architecture back then, but it's a wild ride. And we've talked to some of our neighbors and they had the same setup.
So interesting.
And I'm just like, what? It's not convenient. Doesn't look good.
But carpet in the bathroom.
Yeah, it's a wild ride.
Who does that?
Around the toilet.
Who does that around the toilet?
Good night. In my view, if you have carpet around the toilet, you use the restroom once and you go, yeah, that's it. It's done.
Ooh.
Carpet's done.
There are some things that you just don't do.
What do? You clean it every day?
That should have never been in style.
Was that in style? That's the thing I'm like struggling to. Was that actually in style? Can someone confirm whether that was a thing or not?
I don't know. All right. Next question. Here you go. In your blank era, what era are you in?
Oh, man. Ginge.
What era?
Oh, man. My era? Oh, man. I'm in, I don't know. I'm in like new dad adjustment era.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's where you are. You just don't even know.
I don't even know.
You don't even know.
I'm in trying to wrangle these kids era, trying to keep up era.
I like it.
I don't know what other eras.
I like that. You're in your workout era.
Yeah, but that's me trying to keep up.
It is.
Yeah, I'm fighting against time here.
Dad bod.
I've been working out.
So you don't get the dad bod?
Yeah, well, we're going to fight it off.
You don't have it.
Ginge, after I retired from playing soccer, I did not work out consistently for like 10 years. And it was actually really funny. The first time I went to work out after I retired from soccer, I went to a Planet Fitness in San Antonio, which is like $10 a month.
I don't hate on it, but...
Okay, look, Planet Fitness, it's right for some people. 90% of their clientele don't go, which is how they make their money.
Oh.
So they charge you $10 a month, which is like enough, or maybe 15, where you don't think about it.
Okay.
So you're not bothered if you don't go. So you sign up, you don't go. They literally, like on Tuesdays, I would walk in, there'd be greasy pizza. And you just grab a slice of pizza before or after your workout. They'd always have Tootsie Rolls. But then, Planet Fitness, the pink or the purple walls with the judgment-free zone.
I don't think I've ever stepped foot inside one.
Planet Fitness. Okay, so the first time I go, I just retired from playing professional soccer. I'm like, a month later, I'm like, you know what? I got to do something. So I show up in like sweats and a t-shirt like this, hat on. I put my AirPods in. I get on a bike and I just start slowly pedaling. My shoelaces are untied and I have my headphones in. I'm listening to music. And a woman next to me starts making all this commotion. And so I'm like, she's talking to me. So I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And she goes, is that all you got?
What?
And I'm like pedaling away. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Oh, like I laughed. I was chuckled like, I was on like level 6.
How long was this after you retired?
Like a month.
Oh my
So in front of us, it says judgment free zone.
Oh
She's
my
a 60-year-old woman going crazy on this bike. And she goes, you're a young man. You're going 6 like level 6. I'm on level 11. I'm 65 years old.
That's awesome.
I was like, are you serious?
That's awesome.
And she goes, yeah, I'm serious. Get your act up or whatever.
I love that.
I'm like, what? I'm like looking around and I felt judged.
You should have. You should have sped
the rest of the time. I go through the rest of my workout.
Oh my goodness.
And I was always conscientious of where she was, feeling like, man, she's going to judge me.
I love it.
First day at Planet Fitness.
Well, she's trying to keep you on your toes. It was a free personal trainer. You should have just embraced it.
I stopped working out for 10 years after that. I don't know if it was because of her, but...
Or the pizza. Pizza and the Tootsie Rolls.
Greasy pizza.
Did you just go back and eat the pizza?
I did take some of the pizza, the Tootsie Rolls. But the pizza, greasy pizza after you've worked out, you're sweaty.
That sounds disgusting.
You're not living your best life.
That is the last thing your body should be craving.
Or you've just finished working out and so you feel good about yourself. So you want to get a protein bar or something. You don't want to have a greasy pizza that's dripping with grease.
Ooh.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break from the episode to talk to you about Delete Me. Now, something we need to know about the internet. We're all on the internet, and so is our information. And data brokers actually make a profit off of your data. This is where Delete Me comes in.
Delete Me, they make it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are becoming more common.
Yeah.
And they're common enough to make everyone vulnerable.
We have a very active presence online. And so that means people are looking up our phone numbers. People are looking up for addresses. They want personal information. And Delete Me helps us comb through and have those things removed. But even if you're not like all over the internet, I think you'd be surprised at how much of your information is out there.
Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me. Now at a special discount for our listeners.
Yeah, today get 20% off your Delete Me plan by texting GINGER to 64000. That's text GINGER, JINGER, to 64000. The only way to get 20% off is to text JINGR to 64000. That's GINGER to 64000. Message and data rates may apply.
Now back to the episode.
So anyway, what era are you in? What era is this for you?
A mom era, but I don't know. I feel like I want to be in my most productive season, but I'm not yet.
Are you nesting?
So I would say, I feel like that's such a weird word. It's a weird word to me.
It's a very natural word. It's a very nature word.
I was cleaning the pantry today. I put all the stuff in my kitchen cabinets today. That was in boxes for a while. So I've been working a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what you call it. But
so you're in your mom era?
I'm in my mom era.
I like it. Hey, somebody asked this. This is technically for Joy. They said, where is her pink sweater from she wore on the podcast?
Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. So that pink sweater that Joy wore was my sweater. And I tried to send her home with it. And she was like, I don't know, is pink my color? And I was like, Joy, you need this sweater. You need to take it home with you. So I actually got that sweater from Nordstrom Rack. One day I needed something happy and cheery and bright. And I thought my wardrobe, it was all black. And so I thought I need black or white. Those were the two colors that I feel like when you look at my closet, I have these big sections of that. So I thought in between, I should add a couple colors to my wardrobe.
We're in our black era.
Yes. So then I went and I got this pink sweater and it was so bright.
It's so bright.
So I wore it to an event and it was nice. It worked really, really well. And then Joy came over and she needed something to wear. So I was like, come to my closet. I can't wear any of these clothes right now. They're all in here and you can wear my clothes because I'm pregnant. So just put them to good use. So I threw that sweater at her and she's like, it's too bright. And then she put it on and it looked so good on her.
So did she take it home?
No, she didn't take it home because she was like, I can get my own. I was like, take it out of my closet. I love the sweater, but it looks so good on her.
She probably knows you love it. That's why she won't let you.
But it looks so dang good. I'm going to buy her one.
Hey, here's another really good question. What is something you wish you were good at? And then Lisa said, for me, it's singing or drawing.
Ooh.
I think we both should answer that.
Okay. What is something I wish I was good at? I wish I was not a procrastinator. That's something very real. That's not even funny. That's like real. I wish I was not a procrastinator.
I feel like though you could just not be a procrastinator.
Nope, I can't. Because I'm a procrastinator. I can't.
But I feel like if you could be like, I wish I was a opera singer, which is like,
no, I can do
that's not
something
going to happen.
about it.
But I feel like a procrastinator, you just stop procrastinating.
You think so, but being a procrastinator does not allow you to do that. So, okay.
So you think you're locked in as a procrastinator, so you wish you could be good at not procrastinating.
Yeah.
That's like you wish you could. I feel like that's wanting to grow it in diligence.
I can stop. So I will grow in discipline. There are certain seasons of life where I feel like it's just harder.
Here's the thing: you're not a procrastinator. I would push
it
against
depends
you.
on what it is.
You get after stuff.
I do projects, but
I will come home and you are in the middle of a project and it's like
emails
out of her way. Well, yeah, that's admin.
Emails. I hate admin stuff like that.
Ginger and I both are like
struggle.
terrified of admin.
We probably should just like have somebody be our admin person.
I have that thing. There's not a word for it in English, but where you look at an email or get a text message that you know is important and you want to give time to it. And so you just end up avoiding it forever.
Oh.
So I just grow. My unresponded emails just grow because I'm like, I got to give time to that. Oh, I got to give thought to that. Oh, I got to get to that. And then, but I feel like I can't give it an immediate response.
The worst thing is that you cannot mark text messages as unread.
Yeah, you can.
What do you mean?
You just mark them as unread.
No, you don't. Okay, you gotta show me that later. But what is
just swipe right, and then it's a new feature. You swipe right, and I mean, I don't know how new, but you swipe right and keep it unread.
I must have not updated my phone.
No, watch. Here, give me your phone.
No, it's okay. We'll do it later. But what is something that you are, like, you wish you were good at? You got to answer this question.
Golf.
Good luck. I mean, I think you're pretty decent, but it's hard. It's hard. I feel like something though legit I wish I was better at is cooking.
Ginger, I feel like we're missing the point of this question. We could become professional whatevers, and we're saying stuff like admin, cooking.
Okay, so let me just say,
I feel like we're missing out on opportunity to become anything we want in life. This is our chance to relive our life and become anything we want, and we're missing out.
Go.
Golf. I'd still say golf. I'd be a pro golfer. If I could redo my life, I would play golf. I love soccer.
You can play it until you're like 80.
I know. There's so many advantages to it. And watching Full Swing on Netflix, I just want to be a golfer.
I like that.
But what would you do if you could? So no admin, no procrastination. give us something cool. I think Lisa wants a cool answer. She said singing or drawing. She didn't say doing dishes.
Oh my goodness. I automatically go to sports because I feel like I wish I was really good at sports.
If you had to pick one sport and you could have gone pro, high level, D1, whatever, what sport is it?
What's D1? Division 1.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if I was not so afraid of heights and stuff, I would say a skier but the problem is I hate the ski lift.
Oh my goodness.
I hate the ski lift. If I can make it up to the top of the hill, I can survive and I can get down.
Skier.
It's so cool, but I just am really bad at it. I'm really bad at it.
Yeah, it's thrilling to do.
It is so fun, but I'm terrified every time I get on the ski lift.
So that's what you wish you were better at.
Skiing.
Okay.
That's okay, right?
Yeah.
It's cool enough.
Lisa will have to be satisfied with that answer. Please link your Black Heart purse. You should do that.
I have linked some similar ones because people ask me about my Black Heart purse. So go to my Like to Know It on my Instagram. I have a lot of links there.
Yeah, it's good.
Boom. Where to start reading in the Bible?
Oh man, anywhere you dig in is amazing. So people have this perception of like the Old Testament, like it's boring or it's not the God of grace. You can't read the opening pages of the book of Genesis and not be blown away by the power, sovereignty, love, care, grace, mercy, justice of God. And it explains this world. So honestly, I would jump in anywhere. I was in Judges 18 and 19, and I hadn't remembered the story of Micah. He was, I think he was from the tribe of Benjamin or Gibeah, and it was when everyone was doing what was right in their own eyes. And he goes off and lives alone, and he finds a Levite, makes him his priest. And this fascinating story. And I was reading Judges 18 and 19 going, man, I haven't read this in so long. And it was just so refreshing. And what it did was those 2 chapters were like a masterclass in what idolatry is and how I was just thinking of all the ways that I idolize things in my own heart. And so I think anywhere you jump in and you just say, Lord, open my eyes to behold wondrous things from your word, and he will.
Mm-hmm.
So read the Proverbs. We've been preaching through Proverbs at church, and it's just incredibly rich. Read the book of James. The book of James is like a collection of all of these proverbial wisdom throughout Scripture, from Psalm, Proverbs, Job, Sermon on the Mount that Jesus preached. And the book of James is like this wisdom collective, just jammed into 5 short chapters. Read the Gospel of John. The Gospel of John was literally written so that you would believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God. So if you're struggling with who is Jesus and the heart of Christianity, read the Gospel of John. You want to read an account of a church that was an absolute mess? Read the book of 1 Corinthians and 2 Corinthians and see how the Apostle Paul so graciously approaches this church and helps them work through very practical sin issues. So cover to cover, you want to hear how everything ends? Are you afraid of, our current climate, geopolitical climate, and you're worried? Read the book of Revelation. And 3 words, the book of Revelation is summed up in 3 words. The Lamb wins. Jesus wins. The script has been written. He's the king who will be established on his throne, which is why Christians have such peace and confidence in this world. So read the Bible, open it up and discover it. It's an incredible insight into divine wisdom.
That's so good. That's so helpful, babe. And I think those are awesome books that you threw out there. So guys, go read a book of the Bible. If you haven't done that, just open the word and start reading. Get a good, even study Bible. There are so many good ones. There's the ESV study Bible. Yeah. There's the MacArthur study Bible, which is excellent as well. You can get that on Amazon. And so go study the word.
Someone else said, what book of the Bible are you currently reading at the moment? And I just finished Judges, and now I'm in Ruth. And it was fun. Tonight, I was telling Felicity over dinner, because I told her this morning, she comes down sometimes in the morning and sits on my lap as I'm reading, and then we pray together. We've been doing these prayer walks, which I would suggest for parents. I mean, we need to do them more often, but me and Felicity will just go for a walk. And I'll say, all right, Felicity, from here to those trees, we're just going to thank God for things. Mm-hmm. So let's just thank him for stuff. I'll say one, you say one. So I'll say, God, thank you so much for mommy. And then she'll say, God, thank you so much for Evie. I'll say, God, thank you so much for giving us a home to live in. And she'll say, God, thank you so much for letting me go to school and learn. So we're just thanking God. And then we get there. And then I say, okay, from here to that car over there, we're going to walk, and we're just going to confess sin, And so, God, forgive me for being so proud, and she'll say something cute like, God, forgive me for being mean to my sister. And then we get there, and then, we'll praise God. And so, okay, from here to there, we're just going to praise God. And then the final one on the walk is always what we want to ask God for. So then we're asking God to give safety to baby. We're asking God for people we love. We're asking God to become holier, like this sort of stuff. And this morning we were reading the book of Ruth, and I said, Felicity, remind me after school to tell you the story of Ruth. So I've been telling her, and I'm going to tell her the rest tomorrow. But what a fascinating little book nestled away in the Old Testament about this incredible woman who lived thousands of years ago. And Felicity's just like on the edge of her seat listening to it because there's so many stories and lessons for us in there. So that's where I'm currently at, is Ruth.
I love it.
But I'd encourage people just to jump in.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
It's a wild world.
It's so great.
It's a beautiful world.
It is. Okay, question for you.
Yeah.
Is this Jeremy's parents' first grandson?
Yeah.
Talk about what it means that we're having a boy.
It means the Volo name continues. I have a lot of cousins and nieces and nephews and stuff, but not nieces and nephews. I have a lot of cousins.
Yeah, lots of cousins.
But it all just shook out where none of them have the Volo name. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was like It's not like we have a small extended family.
No, it's a big family, but
this boy is the only boy with the Volo name. So he's literally carrying on the Volo name.
It's crazy.
Which is wild.
It is wild.
So we actually told my grandpa, who's 95, the name of this little boy, and we haven't told anyone else.
Yeah.
So that was really special.
Very special.
Because he was excited to hear that we were having a boy to carry on the Volo name, which hopefully will carry on for many years.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fun. Okay, I need to get you a question. What was your first exposure to cuss words?
I mean, I think you hear them everywhere you go.
Do you remember the first time you heard a cuss word as a kid?
I didn't know it was a cuss word, so it's probably part of it.
So when we first got married, Ginger would ask me like, wait, was that a bad word?
It was a word I didn't know. I was like, that has to be a bad word. And he'd be like, no, you just never heard that. You need to open a dictionary.
Oh, it's so funny.
It's a normal word. It's not a bad
really,
word.
really funny.
Yeah, so great. And when it's late, we're going to be unhinged, babe. Let's just go for all the questions.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What's another good one? Did you ever play a musical instrument, Jeremy?
Yeah, I played piano.
For how long?
A couple years.
You did for a couple years? I feel like I just learned that about you. I thought you tried
violin for a day.
Or violin for a day.
For a day.
How did you play piano for a couple years?
My mom taught us.
I really don't. I did not know that.
Yeah.
You got to play something.
I can't.
You have to. If you played for a couple years, you at least know a basic
Ginger,
song.
I was like 6 years old.
You still should know it.
It was 30 years ago. No, I don't have the muscle memory. I lost interest pretty quick. I do wish I hadn't lost interest. It would have been cool to keep that up.
Man.
I don't know how. Pianists are like incredible.
I feel like with songs, though, once you've played it, you know it. So with an instrument, with a violin, even the song that I played when I was 7, I can still play it. Right?
Yeah, but you've kept the skill up.
True, but I don't know.
I haven't touched a piano keys for 30 years. I have no idea what I'm
Well, you're about to.
You're going to put me to the test.
Yeah, I like crazy. It. Are we morning people or night owls?
I think, I don't think we're too characterized by either. I think if we are night owls, then we're not morning people the next day.
We are night owls by default.
Yeah.
And we hate going to bed. But I feel like in certain seasons, like when I'm pregnant, I will fall asleep so much earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm not, I hate going to bed early.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm missing out on everything by going to bed early. But then there's a certain level of productivity that you find in the morning that you don't find at night.
Totally.
So that's the struggle.
And I'm if I get a bad start to the day, I'm cooked.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm dragging the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's because a routine thing, but yeah.
If you're able to get up before the kids, it feels like your day has a better start because you are ahead of the game. Right. You have, your cup of coffee. Maybe you had time to read a couple verses or a chapter. And you just feel like, wow, I don't know. There's a certain level of getting up early before the kids are up, getting things ready and settled. It's easier than, Mom and Dad, time to get up. Let's go do whatever. It's time for me to go to school. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to get up. There's that feeling that happens. So we're not, I don't know. I'd say we're night owls by default. Naturally, but we fight against it.
We are unimpressive night owls. Because we will be like, all right, we have free time. Let's watch a show. And 5 minutes later, knockdown. Yeah. Like, so it's not impressive night owling. It's not. True night owling, Ginge, is like up till 1, 2. I was up till 1:30 the other day, picking someone up from the airport. And I slept in until 8:30, was just cooked, and then took a 2.5 hour nap the afternoon. And I just realized, I'm old. Like, I used to stay up till 1:30 all the time. Wake up at 7, go work out, do your thing. Now, it impacts my existence.
But it's also hard to get up super early. You do a good job getting up super early. think pregnancy always slows me down.
Oh, well, you're in a season of life where no, this doesn't define you because you need that extra time.
It's true.
You need
It is true.
all that extra energy and all that. Okay, somebody asked a really important question about what filter do you use on your photos?
I use Lapse.
Yeah.
So I use the app Lapse because it has a natural filter. And then for a long time, the app has worked where when you take a picture, you can't see it right away. So you don't know if it's going to be a blurry photo. You don't know if it's going to look amazing. So I kind of like that. And then it doesn't distract you in the moment. That's why I like Lapse. And it kind of looks like it's set back in time.
Mm-hmm.
It is a little grainy though. So if you're planning on printing those photos off, don't take a photo on Lapse.
Yeah, it's a cool look though. Somebody asked about our girls. Are we planning on having them learn piano? And I think Felicity loves the violin.
Yes, I would love for our kids to learn piano and violin. That's what I did.
Doesn't it help to do piano just so you learn chords and progressions and all that?
I feel like it does. The keys, there are so many keys that are there that are helpful. Like you can switch over from piano to a lot of instruments. It can be a great foundation. And you can learn the keys, the notes, all of those things easily on the piano. And then that can transfer to violin. I mean, they are completely different instruments, but at the same time, I started with piano, then went to violin. I played harp for a short bit, and that's something that I wish I would have kept up because when you play piano, you can basically take what you learn there and play it on the harp. So that's why it was pretty easy for me.
Do you think you could play harp like easy right now?
I could.
Really? Why don't we get a harp?
I feel like we should because they are so pretty. They're expensive unless you buy them
No, they're not crazy expensive because I feel like people are wanting to get rid of them because they're so big.
No.
Are these not good harps that are like $250?
No.
Okay.
Terrible. They have more like thousands of dollars.
How much does a good harp cost? Someone asked. Oh my word, $7,000.
That's a decent small harp probably. But
stop it. Seriously?
You want like a proper pedal harp?
With pedal harps upwards of 10 grand.
Yes,
Ginger.
10 to 15 grand for a pedal harp.
I did say we were going to
Let's get one.
No, I don't think so.
So
as beautiful as they are, it might be worth more. It could be a cheaper therapy because it helps Saul calm down when David played the harp.
That's actually true.
You know what I mean? Like it could be cheaper than therapy.
It would be cheaper than therapy.
All right, Lion and Healy, VanderbiltMusic.com, new harps. Look at this. Style number 4, $75,000.
Yeah.
Style 11 Nuevo, $51,000.
Harps are not cheap. All right.
What are these?
So
what are happening? We need to get back.
We need to answer another question here.
$118,000. Look at this. This is the Prince William harp. $118,000.
Let me see it.
Look.
Wow, that's gorgeous. I love it. Okay, what is your favorite place to eat in LA?
I don't know. It changes all the time, doesn't it? We just had La Coupe chicken. That was phenomenal.
Oh my!
That's probably our flavor of the month.
That was so good.
Yeah, La Coupe.
This La Coupe. If you are in the Melrose district, that's where it is. It is so yummy. They have these corn ribs, which were so delicious. They have this creamy sauce on them. And then their chicken sandwich is more of like a sweet, is it barbecue almost? Flavor sandwich. Oh my goodness, is to die for. And maybe just because I just am craving food that I don't have to make when I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Everything tastes better when you don't have to cook it.
La Coupe is the spot. Okay, I think this is a good one. I don't know if we end on this one, but when are you going to have any of the Bates sisters on the podcast?
We have to have them on.
We've talked to Evan and Carlin about it, but Carlin's pregnant now.
I know.
So I don't know if she's going to want to fly for a while.
We'll see.
We almost got them out here like February or January this year.
It almost happened. We had scheduling conflicts.
Yeah.
Our schedule, their schedule. We tried to find a weekend that would work and it just wouldn't work.
But I say look out for Evan and Carlin coming on this thing.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I would love to have them. I would love to have Josie and Kelton as well. That would be really fun. I think we should get a couple of these siblings out here and have this. Yeah. This is going to happen. We're going to make it happen.
We'll make it happen. Ginge, I'm proud of you. You got through this episode.
I'm proud of you.
At night.
Look at you.
I was ready to go snuggle in bed with the cozier sheets and
watch a show.
Watch a show and doze off. And you were like, let's record a podcast.
It's great.
I love it.
Well, anyhow, guys, thanks for watching this podcast.
Thanks for listening.
And listening.
Great questions.
Yeah.
Send more questions in.
Do. Send more questions. This is super fun. This is one of my favorite things to do on the podcast. Is just answer your questions.
Random questions that come in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. Like, subscribe, do all the things, and we'll see you next week. Peace.